All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday. Thank you for tuning in, coming by 10 a.m. on this Sunday, April 27th. I appreciate you spending your time with me today. Today we're going to be sourcing parts, looking through half-making instructions for, I have a little egg in my beard. That's embarrassing. I had fried eggs this morning. Apparently got a little left for later. That's distracting. So we're going to do some studio work, also pulling parts, maybe assembling some stuff if we have enough parts, working with Bricklink, that kind of thing. It's just part of the process, so this isn't like going to be a super exciting guess what set that I just got from Lego that hasn't hit the shelves yet, or this is my giant project that I've been working on, or here's my Lego room. So it's a smaller, crunchier bit of Lego stuff that I've been doing for years, and it makes my brain happy. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So this is one of those things. I was having a conversation about this on Reddit, where somebody who is doing YouTube stuff, where they're like, I've been doing this now for 4 months, and I only have 1,000 followers, or I only have 60 followers, or something like that. I was like, all right, if you take away the YouTube aspect of it, if you take away the streaming part of it, or the video making part of it, is what you're doing still what you want to be doing? And if it's not, then you're just doing YouTube. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're just doing YouTube is your hobby or your business or whatever. It doesn't matter what content you're making. And if you took YouTube out of the equation, if you took Twitch out of the equation, what do you have left? Are you just doing video games? Are you just playing video games? Are you just putting Lego sets together? If that's what you like doing, and you're still doing it. So I've tried to get, every time I see that on Reddit or Discord or something, I try to inject that aspect of, if this is something you really love doing, you'd do it if there was no video component with it. So, and that comes up a lot after having done this for coming up on or just passing 6 years and still doing the same thing, but it's because I like doing it. I found the niche Lego thing that I like doing, and I'm just going to keep doing it. So, but today what we're doing is we're doing, did I get rid of that somehow? There we go. Hello, Missy. How are you? So, and again, my camera's locked up. This is something I wish I did better, was electronics and computer stuff, so I could figure out why this isn't working. And I have a feeling it's because I have this mouse and keyboard combination on one dongle, USB dongle, and I have this mouse, which I feel is a better mouse, on another. So I've got 2 dongles, I've got a mic, I've got speakers, and I've got 2 cameras, all USB. And I think after a while, whatever bus handles the USB stuff, it craps out. It doesn't like the number of USB connections. So I'm trying to figure out how I can, I guess, make a hub, get a USB hub and have everything piped into it. Also, I have a wireless, I have a Wi-Fi thing I should probably take out because I'm hardwired now. Anyway. So these are the characters that I was thinking of doing for the Microfighters today. I'm doing well, Missy. Thank you. I'll get to that in a second, but I'd like to start with looking at these. So this is Shin Hati. She's from, or Hati, from Ahsoka. She was kind of the foil to, I'm gonna forget her name now. The Mandalorian girl from Rebels, who is also in Ahsoka. Yep, she's gone. Anyway, she's the foil for her. We got a random pirate here. This is just a pirate from the E-Wing set. He's a Nikto pirate. So we've got a pirate snub fighter I could build for him. We've got Echo. Echo had a modified sort of ship that we just found the name for, so we could do him. This is Nash something or other. It's not Dash Rendar, but it's like Nash Diego or something like that. And they have a ship called the Crimson Firehawk. I've got a design for that. And this is Hu Yang from Rebels / Ahsoka. And there is a ship from Rebels that, or Clone Wars, that he took a bunch of Padawan learners to get their crystals. So we got a ship for that too. So while I'm deciding which one of these to work on, I thought I'd also show you kind of a completed section of the stadium. Now this is going to be hard to see from your angle, but this is the full supporter section height. So this is how tall the supporter section will be. And as you can see underneath here, I replaced this thing, which was just had some brackets up in here which fit in here, and it did this thing where it just kind of rested. So it wasn't like built at the angle and locked into that angle. It used its own weight to like rest at that angle. I thought that'd be best for the angle of the stadium seating. It's something that Lego had kind of done with the Manchester United stadiums. They've done it with roof elements where it just kind of hangs on the top and falls. And I think this works pretty well. It's almost the same number of pieces if you're counting, each brick, each whatever with each pin. But it wobbles a little bit, but it's very stable. Like I went like this and banged it around a lot and it did not fall apart. The other thing is it's got some framing on the inside right here to keep it from being pushed in. So I think this is a pretty good solution. And I've already gone through the studio file and replaced all the components. So now this is what we've got. So I'm very happy with this. It works really well. It comes together. The angle's a little different than I wanted, but I think it works. So the next step is to figure out how to get these to align with that and using this. And then we'll start building the concourse around this and putting the shops underneath this, right? And again, trying to keep it sort of a vertical assembly so we can kind of stack everything on top of each other rather than a big spread out thing where you have to kind of move it. This is a 4x4 plate assembly that I have to put together. I'd rather have these kind of singular things that can stack a little bit. So this turned out really good. I'm really happy how it looks. And yeah, it still does move, but I think once the weight is on it, it won't move much. Like even if I do this, it wobbles, but with other stadium pieces next to it, you can even like put plates on it to connect it to the other ones. And I don't think it'll shift all that much. So I'm pretty pleased with it. And Technic pieces are always cheaper than big plates like that or tiles or hinges or anything like that. So I like getting Technic in there. All right, so if nobody has any if anybody has an idea of which one they'd like to see built, I'll pull each of them up in studio and we can have a look. So we've done the TIE Avenger. We just built that one. This is the Pirate Snub Fighter. This is the one that the pirate, Nikto pirate, will fly. This is the Crimson Firehawk. This is the one that Nash something or other. I'm going to find out what her name is. Nash Crimson Firehawk. Durango. I love when they get names like that. Like in the Star Wars universe, isn't Durango like Spanish word for like rancher or something? I'm gonna look that up. Meaning. Oh, it's an area of north central Mexico. Durango meaning water town or well-watered place. Yeah, so this lady's got a Spanish name because Star Wars. We also have let's see what else is opened recently. This is the Paladin class. This is a lot of dark tan, and this may be the one that I don't have a lot of pieces for, but this is Hu Yang's ship. Omni, no, I need, I forget what, so this is Shin Hati's fighter. Did I just call it Shin Hati's fighter? Or is it called something? I think there's a new name for it, and I forget what it is. There's a name for Echo's ship too, and I don't know that. Let's see if we can just find it, because I know it's got a new name. Hang on real quick. Sorry about that. My cat was getting into the dishes. He likes jumping up on the counter and getting into the dirty dishes because apparently I don't feed him enough. And he likes to get up there and lick plates and cups and things. I wanted to show you guys this because I think this is hilarious. I got this in the mail. It's obviously not to me. I'm going to cover up my address. But you can see it's not sent to me. It's sent to Miss Zheng Wang. And it's a booklet. It's a big booklet. It is from the Global Services Center for Quitting Chinese Communism Party. It is literally a treatise. Like, I Google Lens the first few pages. It's 9 chapters or 9 sections on why you should quit the Communist Party. And it's very religious, right? But I mean, this is wild. Like, it's a whole ass book about quitting the Communist Party. Probably joining their church, but, you know, whatever. I just thought this was hilarious. I almost want to go find who actually lives in this neighborhood who was supposed to get this, because I think their address is just keyed wrong. It's probably like 1 digit off or something. But I got this and I'm looking at it, I'm like, first of all, what the heck is that cover? That cover is hilarious. And it's like there's like a name here, and I'm thinking that's like a translation person. And then the address. Everything else is in, there's no indication like this is made for an English Chinese reader or something. It's just straight Chinese. And I don't know if it's straight Mandarin or Cantonese or what, but it's pretty funny. I'm never going to be able to find it like this. So that's Studio Files. What are my designs? It was a recent one. I don't want to open those. My designs. Here we go. Okay, so it's recent. This should sort by recent. I saw a really good, somebody built a Purist Ventress figure, or Night Sister figure, that looked like Ventress and had her swoopy hair. And I'm like, I need a new Ventress figure. So I'm hoping the new Tales of the Underworld with Ventress and Cad Bane produces like her ship or her figure or some battle stuff. We don't really need a new Cad Bane figure, but a new Ventress figure of her with her hair grown back would be great. Did I not do a screenshot of this one? It's a recent one. I thought it was a recent one. Yeah, these are all old. I don't know why. All right, well, let's do Studio Files by date and see if it comes up. Avenger, Snub, Crimson, the Remora. That's what it is. That's okay. So that's, and the Fiend Fighter. Those are the names I was looking for. So we're gonna open up and we're gonna look for the Remora. It's always funny to sort things by the. Computers aren't smart enough, I don't think, to ignore the. And then we're doing a Fiend Fighter. So these are the. We're not done with the Fiend Fighter yet, obviously. So we could work on hers today if we wanted to. Yeah, or two jits reversed on the thing. We could work on Shin Hati's Fiend Fighter if we want. Or we could source parts for these 4 ships. This might be. I might have most of these pieces, so we could probably go through this and see if I can get most of these. And then it looks like this one also has some instructions, but again, I may have to start over because this was adapted from an older ship called the Maison something or other. It was the Crimson Corsair ship, and I just adapted to this. These are all like vague Corellian light freighter designs. You can kind of see them coming. So the couple people in chat, do you have a favorite? We've got the Snub Fighter, the Crimson Firehawk, the Paladin class Corvette, or the Remora, in terms of like which ones we can sort parts for, or work on the Fiend Fighter some more. I'm game for whatever. I'm leaning towards doing the Remora so I can get Echo into his new ship, but I'll give you guys a couple minutes to let me know. You like the Firehawk? Okay. So we have 1 vote for the Firehawk. We put Nash Durango in the Firehawk. I need a wrench. They're a mechanic of some kind, so instead of a blaster or something, they get a wrench when they get the, because they usually try to give them a little accessory. Okay, so Firehawk it is. We're gonna go with sorting out the Firehawk. I'm already gonna tell you that I don't have this piece. And I don't know why I used that piece. Do I have something sticking out of that? Nope. Okay. So while I'm building it, I might source out this for a 1x3 instead of a 1x3 round, but we'll keep note of that. All right. So I don't think there's any. I don't see any subgroups in here, and I didn't start any instructions, but I was about to. You can tell because I have an empty first step up in the top corner. So I'm gonna get my tub. And I'm going to put my figure in here so I know which one I'm working on. And we're just going to go through. So the first thing that I usually do is go through the step list on the side here and see if it's kind of small in your screen, but if there's any exclamation points in here, I'll go through that. I don't see any, so every piece in here is the correct color. Whether or not I actually have them or not is a different story. And in just glancing at this, I probably don't have these 2 wedge pieces in that color. This, what color did I do? Glowing neon blue. So this may be a thing where I tried to change the color of the ship. Let's take a look real quick. Crimson Firehawk. So this wasn't done as a Lego ship first. This was actually done as a show. This was like the young Yoda Adventures or something. But it's also this is the High Republic era technically. So these 2 characters are High Republic characters. And I don't know who that is. That is Nubs, and I don't know what kind of alien it is. That's a really cute little alien, droid RJ83. I have not watched this show, but this is from a show. And yeah, I think this is just supposed to be like clear on the back. Oh, this is somebody else making this off of Rebrickable. So let's just make them gray. I think just gray for now. So both gray. Okay, so save this. Sign into Bricklink. Now there's two ways you can see what parts you need. You can go into model and look at model info and get the parts you need this way. You can sort by quantity. We can do that. I also like creating it in Bricklink in case I'm missing pieces, and then I can copy the missing pieces to a new parts list. So let's go ahead and sign in to Bricklink. And then we will, it's this third from the top button. It's kind of hard to see on the screen. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. I'm just sorting parts. If this blocks too much, let's do that. Okay. So this screen up here, or this button up here, is your upload to Bricklink, right? Make a wish list. This one is upload to My Studio. Now My Studio is like Bricklink's kind of ideas center, but it's also kind of a gallery of like, these are the things I created in Studio. The reason I don't like using that is once you do that, it doesn't become Bricklink's property, but they can use it. And if it's uploaded there, you can't do anything else with it, like submit it to ideas, Lego ideas. So when I learned that, I'm like, I took everything off of my Studio gallery. And I was like, I'll continue to use the software, but don't make it so like you own any of my designs. It's kind of cruddy. That may have changed. That was years ago. So, all right. So we got this going. Upload, verifying items, quick scan through. Don't see any broken images in here. Everything looks good. We'll add to wanted list. Yeah, same thing. Like if you upload it to Lego Ideas, you can't then use it for anything else for like 3 years. 3 years after Lego's done with it. So after it's been commented on that they're not going to use it, or you run out of time on ideas or something like that. The problem is I think there's new rules with like the challenges that they do. I think there's, if you upload it to the challenges thing, same deal, but I'm not sure. All right, so I always forget this. I have to sort by 50 to show as many parts as I can, because if you don't, it will it'll sort it funky, and then you realize that you're missing, huge parts of something. All right, so this is now the process. I'm going to be going back and forth to get parts, but hopefully I'll be able to do this pretty quick. So I'm just going to go through this real quick and see if there's anything I know I'm not going to have. These are probably good. I don't know if I have that many in white. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. These are all good. This one's going to be a problem. I don't have any of these 1x3s. So that I'm going to replace with 1x3, just regular plate. Fine, 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 fine. That I may not have in red. May not have that in red. May not have this in white, honestly. These I'm not sure about. Everything else looks pretty good. So let's get to getting. I'm gonna leave her here so she can keep you company. And we'll start. You're gonna want to move, sweetheart. I'm gonna be walking all over here. Do you want to come sit over? Oh, the cat's in your spot. I'm so sorry. Does everybody want to say hello to? Come here. Come here. Hey. Come here. Aggie wants to say hello to everybody. Oh. She's super not impressed by anything going on here. Say hi, Aggie. Hello. You look terrified. I'm gonna put you down. Hi, Kaylee. Yes. All right. That's your puppy fix for the day. All right, so I want 6 of these white ones and 4 of those white clips. And I'm going to bring this whole tray over because I think this is going to be a problem for the white clips. Turns out I had a ton of these. I think I got them in an order. I can't really talk about what kind of order it is. So oddly enough, these white clips may be a problem. I didn't think that was going to be an issue. I don't see any at all. I see one that's the wrong direction. And I see ones that are long, like that. Too long. But I don't see any right off the bat that are... There, we got one. And I need 4. Rare part. That actually is a little unnerving to me when I think it's a common part and I go look for it and I don't have any of them. And while I was designing it, I'm like, nah, that's fine. But you can see in here, I already know what these are for. It's for the wings, right here. And I could probably color those dark gray, because I think I have dark gray. And I don't think it would be much of a problem. But I also don't seem to have a lot of dark gray. I have regular light gray. Oh, there's dark gray. I have dark gray, but not dark blue gray. The most common color I see in here is blue. And gold. I have a lot of gold for some reason. We had a bulk order or a project support order where we got these in gold, pearl gold. So, but I don't think that would work very well here. Yellow. I seem to have a lot of yellow. And black. So I'm going to try a couple different things on the screen and see which ones look better if I can get enough of each color. I think those are regular gray, not new gray. That's new gray. That's a different. So gray might be okay. Dark gray would be better, but doesn't look like I've got any of that. That's hard to tell. I think that's regular gray. No, new gray. So it's almost like whichever one I get first, 4 of, that's what it's going to be. I really wanted white. So now if I wanted to, they're only 5 cents. So it's not like they're uncommon. I just don't have a lot of them. And I really wanted white. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to check that one. Well, yeah, I've got, so I just have everything that's a plate clip, but you could break it off. There's a plate with 1 clip on the side. There's a plate with 2 clips on the side. There's a plate with 1 clip on the long end. And then there's clips that are flat with the plate and clips that are perpendicular to the plate. So yeah, there's like 5 categories just in here, but having them all in here is fine for me because I can usually visually kind of go through by color. Oh, here's another white. Not out of the woods yet. Oh, there's another white. I only need 1 more. And the long national nightmare can end. And there's another one. I just wasn't looking hard enough. Okay. Everything's good. What happened to... Oh, look, when I minimize... Is it when I minimize or when I get another screen in front of... Okay, so just keep that one up. So I don't need that. I want to do... I want to do a display capture, not a window capture. Can I do window? I don't want to do window. I want to do a whole display. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to do display capture. Yeah, I'd rather have this up there. So we can see, so when I'm jumping back and forth, you can see. Okay, good. I have a box that's about 6 by 12 by 8 full of those parts, so I had to sort them. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, that's probably about 3 times as big as this. I also have a different one for the matching plate with bar. I have a whole different thing for plate with bar. There's a whole one with the tile with the clip on the top, whole one with tile or with the round clip on the bottom. Don't have many of those yet. So yeah. So we got our 4 here. That's good. Back to our list. All right, now I need 4 round bricks and 4 2 by 2 length bars. Okay, so I got my 4 bars. I have the box labeled clips and grips. Nice. That's hilarious. Very well done. I brought the tray over here because these are hard to tell if it's light, if it's old gray or new gray. I don't know if you can tell from the camera. You can. So it's the section of the room that everything but right here is very dimly lit. So you need a little more light in some cases to see which colors are new. So I thought I'd just bring it over here and sort through them. By the way, one of my favorite pieces, these flat silver ink, whatever cones. I really like those. Don't have a whole lot of them. I do have a lot of old gray. So these I have split up into cones and round bricks, and then transparent cones and round bricks. If it gets to the point where I get a lot of these, the next iteration would be round bricks, cones, right? But if I split that, these are mostly round bricks. There's not a ton of cones in there, but it could be done. But this isn't so full yet that I need to do that. This is about, well, it's getting there. It's about 80%, 90% full. So if I were to get another bulk order of something or sort a bunch of things and I ended up with a bunch of these, I'll probably need to get. So the next step would be get another mini Sterilite drawer with 3, then find 3 things that I could break up and fill that with. Cones would be one of them. I don't think I have anything else that's this full, but that would be another, like, what can I do for this? And then later down the road, you break it up into black, white, and gray, and then color, right? So black, white, and gray round bricks, colored round bricks, or earth tones and brightly colored, or whatever you want to do. All right, what's next? 3 quarter tiles and 3 cheese snips. Okay, 3 white quarter tiles, 3 double cheese slopes. Get a sip of coffee and hang out in the camera for a bit. Okay, now we're at the 2s. The rest of these are all 2. Again, I'm gonna get 1x3s of this because I don't have 1x3s of in that round shape. At least I don't think so. I'll go look. I have a drawer with 1x2s full of round plates like that, but if I got any 1x3s, would be in there. All right, let's go get 2 of these and 2 of those brackets, and we'll see about that. I always forget which direction the bracket goes. Up. Do you guys do this with brackets? Where if you're looking at it, it's an up bracket or a down bracket? So you can, or do you say right, left, or do you say, how do you differentiate brackets? All right, so I got 2 of those and 2 up brackets. Bracket up, bracket down. So the light gray bracket ups are more rare than the dark gray bracket ups. So I don't think it's going to matter in the set if I remember where this is correctly. And I do have a bunch of white. So I'm going to use these. And if it looks like it doesn't work, this is going to be on the bottom of the ship. So I don't think it's going to matter. If it looks dumb, then I'll switch it out with gray 1x3 plates. All right, 1x4 plate and 2 binoculars. And I don't think these are regular binoculars, are they? I also have to bring the white plates over into the light to make sure they aren't yellowed or old. I think one of these is older, but it's not terribly yellowed, so that's okay. And I wasn't sure with these binoculars if I needed a binocular that had like this stand on the bottom, but it doesn't look like I do. It's my box of binoculars. I'm sure I have more of this. Because I still have just boxes and boxes to sort through. All right, 2 4-length bars and 2 red tiles. This one's also a little harder to sort through, so I have my bar bin. So this is another indication of like what your sorting can be like. This is just an open bin. I've got probably 20 of these of various sizes, but they're in a cabinet so they don't get dusty, because the biggest problem I have with some of the way I have things sorted is I have like some drawers, but they aren't covered. And if it's parts that you don't use a whole lot, when you actually go to get them, they've collected dust, especially if it's lowered to the ground. They'll get dust bunnies in them. And so you pick a part out and you have a dust bunny in it. And you got to go through and clean the whole thing. So when you're sorting and organizing, make sure you have everything's covered or doesn't get Anything with dust bunnies can get in there and gum up everything. All right, 2 corner plates, 2 dark bricks. Okay, corner plates, dark bricks. Next is 2 2x2s and 2 1x2s. I think in terms of like parts, the two, oh, that's a, see, and here's another indication. This is 2 different colors. So, and so is that. Excuse me. I think these are different colors too. Nope, those are good. Bear 7020, hello, how are you? Thanks for being part of the stream. We are slowly parting out this ship. This is a Microfighter version of the Crimson Firehawk. Lego made a set of it. It is from a High Republic kids show that Star Wars did. I don't even know the name of the show. Like the Yoda Chronicles or something like that, where he's teaching young Jedi about young kids about stuff, and a couple of them happen to be Jedi. And this one is the ship they fly around in with this pilot, Nash Durango. So making a Microfighter of it, getting all the parts for it. That's what we're doing. Hopefully I'll be done with getting the parts in just a few minutes. We'll start putting it all together. But that's what we got going on. So thanks for being here. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. You know, let me know if what Lego projects you're working on, or if you are interested in, you know, the new Star Wars show and/or coming out, if you like that. All right, so you can see here we got 2 different color parts, keeping this one, going back for another one. While we're back there, I'm going to look for 2 red wedge pieces. Right, I think I lucked out because I think these are the only 2 I have. So that's rad. You brought a Lego Wolverine mech. That's cool. I kind of like the mechs, the Marvel and Star Wars mechs. I think it's a cool idea. I think the only part of them that I don't like are the knees or ankles or whatever have those pieces that are permanently bent. So it's like a permanent kind of bend to the knee or ankle or whatever. I wish they would make it more articulated. I think it's kind of a cheap way to get it to look like it's in an action pose when it isn't. But overall, I think, you know, it reminds me of when they used to do Transformers X-Wings, you know, and it turns into like Luke Skywalker in a battle mech or something. It reminds me of that. So, all right, I need to go back. I need to get 2 gray of those and 2, oh, look at that. I need to get 2 gray clips. So hang on. Bringing this back over here because it's too dark over there to see. It's very cloudy here today. So that section of the room is in shadow. So you'll be able to see this. So other than the Wolverine mech, is there any specific type of Lego you really like? Do you like the Ideas sets? Do you like the Botanical sets? Do you mostly just like the Marvel sets? Stuff like that. All right, cheese wedges. I need dark, trans brown, and red. Got my... This is one thing that is just, it sits kind of, it floats. I don't have a place for it. It just ends up on a shelf somewhere because I use so many of them. At some point, I'm going to need a whole lot of these. I've got, no, I need the lime green ones. I need a whole lot of light green. These. I need like 7,000 of these. So I can build the stadium seat as proof concept thing. Star Wars sets, that's very cool. Me too. I do a lot of Star Wars builds. Lately, the Star Wars sets are not ones that I really like, but the more obscure they are, I kind of like them better. Like, I probably won't get the Jango Fett UCS set just because, I don't know. But Chopper is going to be a good one. I'll get the Chopper set. Anytime it's from a video game or a lesser known property, I'm going to get it 100%. And there's also, I feel like, some sets that Lego hasn't done, and I'm a little sad about. For instance, we have yet to have a Stinger Mantis from Fallen Order and Survivor. So that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, the trans colored ones are in a different thing. So I need trans brown. So I wasn't sure, but I think one of these is the new trans black. But it's hard to tell. Nope, they're all just trans brown. All right, so I'll just put this over in the extra parts bin. So the sets that I still want to get, but I'm kind of waiting for them to go on sale. I still want to get the Home 1 MIDI scale. But I was holding out for it to go on. In fact, let's take a look. I don't think it's going to be on sale at Lego, but we can double check. No. Another time. It's still $70 for 500 pieces. I think that's a little much. I'm waiting for it to be... This is ridiculous. So this one just came out. And I know it's not part per piece. I get that. Like, that's changing because the parts are so small. But for 450 bucks, this one's 50 pieces and it's pretty good size. This one's a few more pieces. This one's, I think, the most pieces. You know, 50 bucks for that. This one I almost get because it's a lot of parts and it's pretty substantial. But this one, $70 for 380 pieces? No. This one has to be $50 minimum for me to even try to get it. I'm waiting for a price drop on that one. So yeah, this is actually pretty good. I would buy it at this price. That's pretty good. I'm going to add that to my cart. Yeah, I was kind of waiting for it to drop below 60. So I would like for it to drop below or drop to 50, but That's not too bad. It's so stupid, isn't it, Johnny? Like this is the fact that that new. It looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it looks pretty cool, but not for that amount of money. I think that's ridiculous. All right, 2 dark cones, 2 1x3 tiles. Again, lucked out. I think these are the only 1x3 tiles I have in red. And I brought this guy back out because I want to make sure 2 things. One, there are different shaped cones and different colored cones. And I want to make sure I get the right one. But I think I'm either low or out of the dark gray cones because I use them quite a bit. They are great for starships and thrusters, so you're not going to be able to really tell, but this is 2 different colors, I think. Yeah, I feel like those are 2 different colors. But also, if you look at the tips, these are the old style cones that are like, they have an extension on the top versus the newer style cones, which have like a line around it. More of a ridge. I'm not opposed to using this flat silver because these are going to be for the thrusters in the back. So if I don't find any dark cones, I'm totally okay with that. Ideally, I'd like to stick to my model as much as possible, but when it's one you've designed and you're only doing it because you think it's a cool colored piece, but you realize maybe you don't have those pieces, it's fine to change it up. Yeah, I'm not seeing with parts so ubiquitous as cones, if I don't see it right away, I'm just gonna switch the color. Because I don't want the old dark gray, it just looks off. So I think I'm gonna go with the silvery color for this for now. All right, any more of those bricks? Oh, I do need one of these. I don't think I have one of those. So that may need to be a part switch up. All right, 2 pizza slices, red and dark gray. All right, because I know I'm gonna be looking for that piece later. Pizza slices, red and dark gray. So these are my binoculars. And at one point I had the binoculars with the stand on the top of them, but I may have used them for other models. So I'm just gonna double check this is my minifig utensil drawer, just to see if I accidentally put some in here from a long time ago, because sometimes that happens. And I don't see one, so okay. So I think maybe I'll figure out how to do one more of these with like a thing on the bottom of it. Like that. Like, I don't know why it had to be that other piece, but we'll see. All right. So now I need 2 square bottoms in dark gray and 2 curved slopes in red. Thank y'all for your patience. I know me walking back and forth is not awesome to watch, but this is the only way to really do it. I mean, I could probably turn the camera and everything around, but this whole thing is filled up with my steampunk build, and it's not really good for building right now, so we'll just do this. All right, plus we're almost done. So, okay, now we're on to the single parts. A white jumper, a white half moon wedge plate, or half round wedge plate. And then I'm going to bring over the drawer for these two. So jumper, half round, and turns out I may need this big piece, which is kind of a central piece to that. So we've got our white jumper. If we look, that's a pretty big piece there. That's a pretty big component. If it's not white, if it's another color, you know, I'll be put out, but it'll be. So let's see what we got. I don't think I have white. I have black. A lot of green. These came from a, when we were doing drafts, we got these off of drafts. And the drafts were some friends thing or some dreams thing. And this is, you know, you get 20 of these in one bag or something. And the later it gets in the draft, the fewer cool parts you get. So like I ended up with these. These will be cool for making landscapes and stuff. Like if you wanted to build big non-base plate kind of footprints of stuff, you know, combine them with something like that where you get like some nice ground and things with like even the olive green, nice landscapey stuff. So that's kind of why I grabbed it. But I don't have a white, and I don't know if I can do 2 of these. I think I may have 2 of these in the half moon or the quarter panel. But yeah, I can do black, I can do green, olive green, and I can do light blue or coral. So none of these will really work. So that means for my purposes, I'm gonna go get 2 quarter panel ones. And in the meantime, look for these 2 pieces. This may be another challenge. I don't think I have those that small. I've got 3s, but I don't think I have 2s. I'll go ahead and look underneath. See it right away. Oh, there's one. I have to hunt for it, but I think it's down there. Well, if it was a 3 or, okay, there it is. I got that side. Now, because of the way Lego does stuff, unless you get a landscape set of some kind that's like, I always imagine the there was a Pirates of the Caribbean, or maybe just Pirates, I can't remember, but it's one of those where you get like an island that has some play feature on it, like a treasure chest or a skeleton pops out, and it's like two hunks of island that are kind of connected, and then there's like a dinghy or something like that where it's small, but you get a left side wedge plate, and then of one color length, and then a rounded one of one color length, just to be able to kind of make it the shape they want. Those are the only times you really don't get pairs of right and left wedge plates. So I always assume 90% of the time, if I've got this, there's going to be, this is the left side, there's going to be a right side version of it too. So, but I've been wrong. Like I've hunted and not found the other half of what I need. But it's a really small part, so it's just going to take a sec. And again, this is all part of the process. And as you can see, this is almost full. So the next step would be like this size and down, and then this size and up, right? So everything this size and down gets its own drawer, and everything this size and up gets its own drawer. Or colors, black and white and gray, and colors. So either way is perfectly accessible. Whatever makes your brain happy while you're doing it. These are also funky pieces, so it may be one where I have to go dump this all out on a table and sort through. Honestly, if I could just get over the top of it, I could see better. So what's everybody got planned for today? Any last minute weekend stuff you're doing? Oh, Beth and I went and saw Sinners last night, yesterday afternoon, and it was really, really good. Possibly best picture of the year, if it weren't for the fact that it's like a vampire movie. The way they put the movie together is fantastic. It's really, really good. It's tying to like the historical part of that time of American history, tying together with music. Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack has only one. Yeah, that's... And again, that may be what I got one of these from. Like, I don't remember what set. This is the right... I could probably look it up. This is the right side. Let's see if I can see if I've got whatever set this comes in. It comes in 592 sets. In red. 62 sets. No. No, 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 no. Yes, but I still have that together. Man, I really don't have a lot of these. Trying to find something that I would have had, but then took apart. Oh, this one. There's 3 in that, but I took that apart, so I should have 3 somewhere, unless I use them. So that's the odd thing. If there were 3 and I used 2 in a Microfighter somewhere, I'm not going to have it. But that's the ones that I can see that I had and took apart. So I may have to buy these. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I'll give it one more pass, and then I'll just mark them down as, and they're the edge pieces anyway. They're the, like, these wing shapes. I can give it these for the time being. I got a lot of these apparently, and we can move on. Let's just do that for now. And then remember that I got to order those. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as needing. So all these, and I'll order just a pair. So I have a pair. I don't have any of those. So what I should be doing is marking them down as I go. So like I have all these. Let's get this down. Got 6, 4, 4. Trying to relax. Yesterday was long. Oh, I agree. Ooh. You had 3 games yesterday? 3 soccer games? So yesterday we went and saw Sinners, and then came home and I went out to watch Austin FC play, and they looked absolutely terrible. Lost 2-0, but just on top of it looked like garbage. So that wasn't fun. But I got to go to Brutorium and have a few beers and a pretzel and, you know, hang out with some people. So that part was cool. But the game itself was just, well. Came home, and then I was up late watching the Avs play, and the Avs beat Dallas like 4-0. It was really, really good. So ended on a pretty good note. That's not too bad, but yeah, that is still a long time. And it was probably outside, so you're out in the sun and whatnot. So after this today, I'm going to try to go do some yard work if it doesn't continue to be super breezy out, and if it stops raining. Or if it doesn't rain on me while I'm out there. So I don't have one of these. That's what else I was going to do. I was going to go see if I can find 2 of these. So let's just say I need one of those. And I'll need one of these, right? So that's where we're at. Okay, so I've marked everything down. I thought I'd give it one more pass, but I have a feeling I don't have them. Unless they got sorted in from another set that I didn't own. But I have a feeling because they were in that... Oh, wait. Haha. I have 2. I have 2 right sides. That makes me more upset than having none. Yeah, I may go back later and go dump this out on a table and make sure, because it's hard to sift through all this and keep it all in the box and be 100% sure that you don't have it. But I already put the other 2 in there, so let's keep these out so I'm reminded. All right, then I need quarter white plates, and then clips and down brackets. 1 clip, 1 gray down bracket. All right, I got my half moon pieces here. The dark gray down brackets I don't have. I have the up brackets. So I'm hoping that a light gray will be okay. And then I brought this back over here so I could see if I could find this dark gray. Get my keyboard back over here. Yeah, being 10, you got to play outside. All right, so that's going to be this. That's going to change how that looks. I don't like that at all. So I may have to, you know what? I may have two singular. No, I don't. That's why I got this. Okay. And then what was the other thing I'm looking for? Oh, I don't really care about that. I mean, I'd like it. I'd like to be able to find that, but I'm just striking out with all these colors. Like it would have existed, right? But again, I can do one clip. But I can't even find that. You always think like dark gray should just be kind of available, but I don't even see that. So back here in the back, this is kind of, I can kind of get away with a light gray. So let's do that. And then maybe put a tile on it to kind of make it more dark gray. Let's just do that for now. So yeah, I need that. Need that. All right, so we've got a reddish brown 2x3 and a white 2x2. Okay, got those. And this looks like almost to the end here. Grill, tile, bar, 2x6, rail, 1x6, and then this guy that I already built. So let's see if I can get this in all one shot. Dark gray grill, white tile, dark gray bar, 2x6 light gray, white rail, 1x6 plate. I'm gonna have to come back. I'm not gonna remember all these. I remembered 4. I forgot what the color was on the 2x6 plate. Gray and a rail. All right. Okay, c'est ça. So that's it. So I have one of these. I have one of these. I have one of those, one of those, and one of those, and one of those. I also have that one, that one. I need that one. I need that one. Save changes. So when I go to buy this, it should only bring up like 5 parts. One store, 7 cents. So then, you know, you create a cart, but then I want to go to the store and check out my cart. And it's like, how do I increase this to make it worth buying from them? You know, they've got 10 of these. They're 8 cents each. Do I want to get a bunch of these? A bunch of these, a bunch of these. So like I probably would get like 20 of these and maybe 5 of these, stuff like that. So if I were to do this to like buy it to be exactly like I wanted, then yeah, this is what I would do. But for now, let's try building what we've got. I'm just gonna close that out because the cart will remain for a little bit. Now I don't have instructions for this, so we're gonna kind of go from the build itself, and I'll make instructions for this later. So we always start from the bottom, back, up, and forward. So to start off, and I'm gonna dump all these out so I can see them all. I'm hoping that this doesn't structurally become a problem having these two instead of one piece. But right off the bat, I can see it's attached here. So hopefully it won't be too bad. So soccer games yesterday, taking it easy today. Anybody else got anything cool going on? So after it's done being built, we can go through and maybe make instructions for it. Just because that's part of doing the build. That way I can kind of go through and see if, you know, all the parts fit and everything. There was a new Lego thing posted. I think I'm fully charged here. Pull up my news. I had Zapier problems. Getting news to our Lug Discord. So I'm trying to get that fixed. Lego Media. So I'm looking up another Discord to see if there's more news. Kylo Ren shuttle. Oh, Sherlock Holmes teased. So I haven't seen much about it other than it's been teased. I don't know what that means. If it's going to be a set, what I imagine when they said Sherlock Holmes was something like the Dickens novel, where you open the book, or there's a book underneath it, and there's a little scene played out on top. I think that's probably what they might do with it. I can't imagine what else they'd really do. Like, Sherlock Holmes isn't a huge like, you know, it hasn't been in the public mind for a really long time, other than the BBC show recently. It's always kind of been there. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Okay, that is a corner plate going in next to, okay, like that. Yeah, that was really bad. Hello, Jake. How are you? That was not good. It was not good at all. We only had like 2 or 3 opportunities, and none of them really even resulted in a shot on goal. So it was really hard to watch. There's like that scrum in front of the thing, and it was like nothing really got to be a shot. I didn't know that we challenged the goalkeeper at all through the whole game. Let's go ahead and hide. See what else we've got on here. So that level is good. I'll go 1 level up. Okay, so we've got this bar. Okay, so that holds it on pretty good. We're okay. That crossbar there. And then another plate on top of that. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. This is another case of I don't like the way Lego rounds stuff off. Round corners versus a round thing like that. It just looks, I don't know. Okay, we'll put these two guys in the front here. And then we've got binoculars have little bits on the back too. Really hope something goes over the top of this because right now it's not being held in place very well. I did not design that real well. My only solace, Jake, is I came home and the Avalanche won, so I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, they won convincingly too. All right, so this is going to be this, and then this, and another one of these. Oh. And this is a thruster in the back, so this will go like this. And then we'll use these large wings instead of the small wings for now. Do they go underneath or on top? On top. We'll put this little bit here, and it looks just fine for now. So again, we got this guy. We've got this guy up front. Got this guy halfway down. Yeah, I don't know, man. We've got a lot of talent. But I feel like we got talked into there being more talent than we actually have. And maybe it's a coaching problem again. You know, that was our 9th game, 10th game. And so far we've fallen back into horseshoe of sadness. Occasionally get it up the right or left side. Big cross into the, okay, here's what happens. Horseshoe of sadness. Kind of squirreled it up the left side. Big cross to nobody. And then they counter. Wash, rinse, repeat. And then we've got somebody who's really fast on the right side who can't control the ball, who's constantly getting dispossessed of the ball. Hukari just cannot keep control of the ball. Hukari and Obrion are very fast, but they can't control anything. The ball gets taken away from them so much. It's really frustrating. So if something doesn't change, we're gonna suck for the rest of the season, because this is just what happened last year. I can already tell. And it's frustrating because, you go to every game and you want to root and you want to come away, or you want to go to a game going, you know what? It's 50-50. I don't know if they'll win or lose today, at the very least. It'd be ideal if you could go to a game and say, they've been on a tear and I'd be shocked if they lose. But we just go to games going, well, I'm going because my friends are there. That's kind of it, Let's hide this and see what's under here. We got this big, I think that right here. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That solidifies a lot of stuff. So that's a nice swooshable, solid build right there. All right, so on top of that, we've got these white plates. Oh, there's something back here. Don't get too squirrely. We've got more of those. I don't know why I'm using these weird round plates, but okay. Swoosh. Super swoosh. Very swoosh. Is that what's in there, really? Oh yeah, and then this in front. Okay. So again, these brackets are supposed to be light gray, but I don't have light gray in these brackets, so but it doesn't look like it matters. These are kind of hidden. And in fact, it kind of looks a little better given these little engine or bulkhead pieces. I don't really know what the term for this is. It's the back end of the ship. But it's, you know, it's kind of the side of the cargo area. Okay, so then we take that off and we take that off, and what's over here? 1x2 plates. Okay, 1x2 plate. Really? Yeah, right on another 1x2 plate. Okay. And then that, and then that. And then we've got this piece, which I kind of do want to make it a dark gray because it just doesn't look right in the back. There needs to be a dark gray. Sorry, I realize I'm building not on camera here, but all right, so on top of these guys now I go that. It's white pieces, and then some curved slopes. And then I think on top of this, we got, so this looks like one time I am not doing the typical, most microfighters have the little jump plate with the little trans brown cheese wedge on top of it, and I'm not doing that this time. For some reason. It's a brown square. And then a jumper. And then a tile. And then this guy. On the edges, 1x3. 3. And then on the front, we've got that, that. All right, looking good. It's turned out pretty good. Why did I get 3 of these? Extra fun. Oh, I needed 4, that's why. And I only grabbed 3. Well, let me go grab another one. Unless it slid somewhere or got pushed under. That one over here? Nope. Okay, one sec. I always have to remember to add to lists. I need a notebook or something around here that says you're getting low on this part. Just go ahead and order some from Bricklink. Because you're going to need it. You may not need it now, but you may need it later. All right. I'm going to go get one more thing. The pièce de résistance. So she, is it on the table? I don't see it. I needed a third one. She is a mechanic. She has a back thing, and I don't know what that back thing's for. She's a mechanic, I believe, so she's going to get a wrench to go with her setup. And then she's going to sit in here with her wrench, like so. And there you go. There's your Crimson Firehawk. Does this go bend all the way up? Yeah. Crimson Firehawk. I want these wings to be smaller, but I think they look fine in comparison to the ship itself. I think it looks pretty good. There does seem to be a little droid in here somewhere. Had I thought about it ahead of time, I could have put a little droid head right there. I think that'd be cute. Kind of finish the whole thing off, but yeah, so there you go. Half hour left. Let's go ahead and start looking at another Microfighter, because I'd like to get a few more of these done before Brick Rodeo, even though I'm not really bringing anything other than my steampunk build to Brick Rodeo. I just don't want to have, deal with more than that. So yeah, there it is. I'm going to take a picture of it later. So the other thing that I build with these usually, and I have to do it with this guy, is I build stands to go with them. And I didn't have one real close, so I had to go hunt for one. Sorry about that. So I usually will build a stand to go with it. And when I was at the height of displaying everything, I had little labels on the stands as well to indicate, so people knew what the ship was, because in some cases it was an older ship. So for instance, this was the ATDP from, I think I want to raise this up a little bit. This is the ATDP from Rebels, where, and her name is escaping me still. The Mandalorian girl artist from Rebels. Okay, Ezra, Zeb, I can see the word swimming in my head. My brain is just shot. And it's going to kill me when I hear it. Sabine. Yeah. So the whole story with Sabine and going back to Mandalore and her sister, or she developed this weapon that basically attracted energy to Mandalorian armor, to Beskar. And basically it superheated Beskar to the point where if anybody was wearing it, it fried the person inside it. So it was a really kind of nasty, targeted weapon. So this was the one that they adapted to it. And this is basically, there was an ATDP set already. So I just changed a few things on it, including the super weapon that they had, which was the arc cannon. And then it had these little missile launchers on the side of it. So this was called the walker itself, or the weapon was called the Duchess, because I think it was patterned after the Duchess Satine, who was the peaceful Mandalorian leader. So in her honor, or like to kind of, I don't know what the term is, not besmirch, but to like make fun of her, to kind of poke at her a little bit, they named the weapon after her. So just an ATDP driver. But you can see the stand is like a little bit of Mandalore. It's a blasted landscape with domes and buildings and stuff. So I try to do that with all my builds. The latest one I haven't done yet. I also don't include these as part of the instructions for it, but I've heard people say you probably should. That's a really good thing to do with these models. But this is kind of a cheap way to do a stand and get a label on the front of it, is to just kind of build it like that, because you hit it wrong and it falls apart. It'll split in half. But you put another brick in there, it's fine. So anyway, I might need, I don't know what I would do for this guy. Maybe now that it's in Andor, I would do a Yavin jungle, or maybe the wheat fields above, what's the name of the planet he was at? Yeah, they mentioned it a couple times and I can't remember what it is now, but the wheat fields where he rescued his friends, or the hangar where it was developed. Like, it could be one of many things, but this also came from the old TIE Fighter game. So, a hangar, something that looks vaguely Imperial, just put this in it, kind of thing. This I'd have to watch the show to figure out where it's seen a whole lot of, but you can look at the set too, and it looks like there's some background here that's got some trees, like some big trees. So maybe it's part of a scene where they're on a planet with big trees, and put make it mostly tan and green on the base plate and have a little arc for a tree somewhere, something like that. So that's kind of what I would do with this one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to put this guy away. And most of the times I can keep every Microfighter in a bag and it stays pretty much together. Some of these bags tend to fail over the years and I need to replace them. Like this one, the zipper is just fried. And sometimes they stay together and sometimes they don't. So, all right, so we got that guy done. The next one I'd honestly like to work on is, I think, Echo's ship. The Remora, is that what we called it? So while we have a little time left, let's go back. I don't need that. Don't need that. Need that. Oh yeah, so I did a post today that it was my normal, here's some stuff that I think Lego should build. I didn't realize that the Lambda class shuttle has had so many iterations built. If you looked up, I'm gonna pull it up again. I thought it was, like, okay, they've done a UCS, they've done a couple models. I think there was a polybag or something like that. Lambda shuttle. So it's assuming that I'm searching for Lambda shuttle and they include everything, right? And tag everything, I could probably do Imperial shuttle. So here's like the original one from 2001, a mini build from something. This was like kind of a weird little battle pack. It's only 300 pieces, so it's not a huge thing, but advent calendar, UCS, polybag, another mini build somewhere, another advent calendar, another set, another advent calendar, 2 more polybags, right? Or a magazine gift. There's 2 magazine gifts. This thing's been done to death. And there's no Microfighter for it, which I think is just really weird. They also don't officially have a TIE Fighter. They did like a first order TIE Fighter. So that's neither, I'm going to say it again, neither here nor there. So that's one I think they should do. Yeah, I had one of the more recent shuttles that they put out. I think it had to have been this one. I think I got this one. Oh, it says I own it. Okay, so I did get that one. I also own one of these too, but I don't remember which one. Oh, there we go. But yeah, there's a lot. Technically I should say that I own, the advent calendars because I bought them the last few years, but I don't think that really matters. Because you immediately part out the pieces, throw the box away, keep the figures. Same thing with everything else. I don't know why I brought that up. So let's close this. Let's close this. I don't need that. I'll keep that open. All right, so this one's done. The next part will be, instead of parting out a new one, let's go through. I need to make instructions for this. So now that it's built and I know how I put it together, and it doesn't seem to be like there's no finicky parts really on anything. So go ahead, you know, put it to the instructions. So we're going to turn the step viewer on so we can see when we click on a step, there's nothing in it. Or when we put a piece in here, we're going to put this piece up in the first step because we always start at the bottom. Always start bottom up, back to front. Just because that's how you kind of look at it when you're done. You're looking at the model like this. You're not looking at the model like this, you know. Build it up so you can see it. Also build it so it stays together. If there are sections that are kind of finicky or fall apart, make sure you if you put that down, make sure you put something on it that kind of holds it in place better, so you're not constantly having to hold it while it's funky until you're waiting to get several pieces up. So if you can do that, all the better. All right, step 2, and I'm going to, since this is all built, we're going to do this now so you can see it a little better. And I'm going to move the chat over here, actually just like that, so you can kind of see what's going on. So again, this is, you know, this is how I do it. I put everything in a last step and then I work backwards. You don't have to do it that way. If you want to put everything in a first step and then like kind of work backwards in your building, that you can do that too, or go to the very end and say new step and start that way. It's completely how you can comfortably do it. I've just found that this way works easiest for me because I can kind of see this part, then this part, right? So in step 2, I'm going to find these two guys and I'm going to put them up here. And there's going to be a need for me in the instructions to say, hey, there's like, it's called the buffer exchange, where you kind of have one lowered and you can see that there's two pieces to kind of, hey, put this one under here. That keeps you from having to say, flip the whole thing over and put those on there. Try to keep the orientation as simple as possible without moving it a whole lot. Because I didn't think that was a big deal, but in working with Beth, who doesn't build a lot of Lego sets, it's very important to be as clear as possible. So these all go in the next step. You can see that. This one was a little funky because this needs to go into, well, I can do that. I can just do that. Yeah, that's fine. I try to combine more parts per step. I hate directions that are a giant page and it's got one little piece in the middle of it and that's your whole step. So knowing this is going to be picked up by people who like building already and they're probably pretty familiar, I try to put as many pieces in or as many sub builds as I can, but sometimes it's not always easy to do that. Here's the finicky step I was talking about. These two pieces, it's hard to put down. It's hard to it's hard to push down on these to get them in place. So this is going to be a little squirrely. And ideally, probably should have built the round plates like these as little subgroups to put them under there, but I think this is just fine. New step. And then I'm going to put that plate, that plate, that plate, that plate, that plate, all as one step. So you can see it built up. This again is going to be a little funky because when you push down on these, it might take that one piece with it, but that piece will end up being covered up. You can't really see in the corner there, but it'll be covered up, so it won't be pushed down anymore. But again, that gets to a little later, so hopefully we can get to that step soon. Nope, I just added a bunch of steps at the end. I don't like that. All right, so here, and then I want to get to these steps as quick as I can. That's already in a step. That's already in a step. So what was it over here? There's another plate under here, I think. So we'll do that one. That one's one of them. But there's more up here, so I want to try to find it all. These two brackets will go in that one. And this also works because you can kind of drop things in as you see them. It's like, oh, that should go in that step, and you can kind of juggle it a little. I don't need that. I don't know why I grabbed that one. Boot Knife, how are you? This app is called Studio, and you can get it from Bricklink, and I will show you real quick. If you go to Bricklink, which is or I don't know if you're familiar with Bricklink or not. Welcome, by the way. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. Oh, that's a cool build. I would do that. That's a finalist I would work on. So Bricklink is a secondary market for Lego purchasing. If you want loose parts, used parts, sets, minifigures. If you're aware of it, great. I won't go into it anymore. But if you go to Bricklink, you can shop for pieces, right? You can make wish lists for pieces. You can buy from basically, it's Lego reselling from the community. Everybody's, the people on here have their own shops and whatever. So in it, they've developed a piece of software called Studio. And it is basically a Lego CAD program, not unlike Lego Digital Designer, Mechabrick, LDD, or LDraw, MCAD, any number of Lego CAD programs, brick assembling CAD programs. It's free. It runs on both Windows and Mac. You can design stuff in it. You can render images out of it. You can light things up. You can upload your parts lists back to Bricklink to buy them. It's very useful. I'm addicted to it. I've been working in it for several years. So much so that I generally try to start a design in Studio before I do anything else. And then I'll go back and say, well, I'm not really sure how this build works in real life. I like the way it looks in Studio, but there's no friction, there's no gravity. So I want to make sure that when I build it in real life, it works. So that's what we're doing now. So this is the model that I just built. And I've had this design for a while. This is the Microfighter version of the Crimson Firehawk. I think I still have the set. So I think I've taken a few of the pieces apart, but this is the actual set, the Crimson Firehawk, because that's where I got the figure. And then this is the Microfighter for it. I've taken some pieces off here because they looked useful, but there you go. Kind of cool, yeah? All right. So now I'm in the process. Now that I've got it built, I've got it designed, I'm going through the process of making instructions for it. Very often I will take a Microfighter like this TIE Avenger and make instructions for it and then go put those instructions on Rebrickable. Generally for Microfighters, the instructions are going to be free because there's so few pieces. I used to charge $1 for it, but it was kind of pointless. I wasn't getting anybody buying anything. But I like making instructions for it for people to use later. And that's what I'm in the process of doing now. And thank you for asking. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I only got about 10 minutes left on the stream today, but I stream, subscribe and ring the bell, like they say. I stream Sunday mornings at 10, Thursdays at 8 Central. I do a mix of studio building or studio designing, set building, mock building. I've been working on a Q2 stadium design for Austin FC. I'll show you that real quick. I'm also working on a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn models that I have to get back into. So this is the stadium I've been working on for a while now. I need to, get working on it more. It's been about a year, and I'm just now getting to this part. So I'm trying to do more off stream to, but anyway, so that's that. Today we were gonna pick up one of, several of these microfighters to pick one to build, and we just ended up doing the Crimson Firehawk. So that's where we're at. Get rid of these extra steps at the end because I don't need them. All right, so I've lost my train of thought. There's another, oh, okay, we'll do these two. And again, another, it's gonna be kind of goofy, but it's another stack on top of that. I know Greg isn't here. Greg was talking about this the other day. We went and saw Sinners yesterday, and if you haven't seen Sinners, I couldn't recommend it more. It's a fantastic kind of period piece almost. It starts off as a period piece, and I'm just gonna let it go from there. If you've seen the trailer, you kind of know what you're in for. There's another piece I know I need that's in here. I can grab it. Yeah. But it was great. The music was great. The acting was great. The writing was fantastic. Just all around wonderful. Okay, so this step has a lot of parts in it, but if you'll notice, they are all, I could probably break this up. This is one level, this is another level. So let's do this level first. Let's get this. Oh wait, I did that already. Let's do this step before that other step. So let's just move this one up. I like that better. So we go that, then that. Okay, groovy. Remember to save. Always save. Let's close these other bits. I'm also shocked at the beginning of the stream was losing that whole camera. Oh, I closed the wrong thing. But everything seems to have worked since then. The 5 minutes to go. So this Thursday, I'm not sure I'll be on or not. There is something going on Thursday. If I remember correctly, it's May 1st. It's 1st of May. I may be out singing karaoke with Jonathan Colton's 1st of May song, as I'm wont to do every year. But if there's nothing going on, I'll be back Thursday night. And what goes in here? There was another piece that goes right there. Oh, it's these big wings. Let's do these on their own step here. Let's see if we can add any more to that. Good thing I just saved. I think it would have asked if I wanted to save because I hadn't, like, if I close this out, it'll say, do you want to save? If you haven't saved in a while. There's another, did I put that piece on there already? Yes. When I get to that one in there, let's add that one to this step. So this Thursday, I don't have many sets to build. I have a flamingo set. This won't take the whole hour, the whole 2 hours. If I get another set by Thursday, we'll do some set building. If I don't, then maybe more Q2, maybe more Microfighter, maybe Horizon, like one of those three. Nope, expand all, please. So, okay, that, that. So this is what we basically do until the very end. We can do these now. Oh, I need to add a step. Nope. Move that down here. I think I broke my rule with back to front, because I think I need to do some stuff back here first. Let's do this and this one. And this will be one of the ones where I have the buffer exchange where it kind of raises one up so you can see that you put two pieces down together. Super simple. So now is when this gets covered, finally, so it can be a little more stable. Take these two pieces here, and now that is all covered up. Now that is all stable. Now that it's stable, I'm going to put these little bits on it. On the back here. So I'm going to have a piece in the instructions that says to turn it. So you're looking at it from this angle. And we shall do these two guys. Actually, yeah, I'll do them individually. I was going to say make a little group of them, but I don't really care about that. And then another step with these two guys. Right, y'all. It's probably easier to put this in first, but I think it holds up well enough to be able to do that. New step. This is where I get kind of like, do I make a whole group out of this? And I say yes. So I say submodel. I'm going to create a submodel out of this. Hit Control G, make a submodel. Then I'm going to delete the one over here, and I'm going to copy the submodel from in here. And what that does is it allows me to then later in the model do this 2 times. So if you ever see the instructions in Lego where it says do this twice, this is how you do it. You don't have 2 different subgroups. You have to make one subgroup or subassembly, then copy it from the steps, and then paste, and then put it where you need to. So that when you build it once in the instructions, it'll show both times. It also links all those submodels together. So if you make a change to one, it'll change it to both. You got to be careful about that. But you'll see that later in the instruction step. So this is almost done. I'm just going to, finish through the rest of these, but it's noonish. It's afternoon. I appreciate everybody coming by and saying hello and keeping me company. I will probably take a photo of this. I may finally build a landscape for one. I haven't built a landscape for one in a while. A little stand to put it on, take a picture of it and post it. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope it's relaxing or enjoyable or entertaining or whatever you need it to be today. And I will see you again on Thursday. Take care.